the chemical structure of Ritalin is very similar to speed, to cocaine, to methamphetamine. In the adult brain, it acts like a stimulant. But in the developing brain, it acts like a suppressant. And in fact, pharmacologists don't really understand why it has such a different effect on the developing brain versus the mature brain. Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree.
Yes, that's it. You know it.
This is Aussie Beach Wildlife Tea.
There you go, there's another one. It just flew over the top of your head.
A pair of kookaburra.
They're beautiful, aren't they?
For people who have overactive children, you know, when I was a kid, you were just a naughty child.
Yeah.
You know, that was all there was to it.
What do you think of the Ritalin being prescribed to everybody?
The establishment are trying to literally incentivize young mothers, teen mothers in particular, to get their kids diagnosed ADHD. And then word goes around the Sink Estates that if you get your kid diagnosed ADHD and prescribed a course of Ritalin, you can get £600 from the state because you're a carer. If you have 3 kids diagnosed ADHD, you get 3 kids prescribed with Ritalin, and because you're a super carer, you can apply for a car to be provided by the state, which will be taxed, insured and fuel paid for because you have no other income other than the state benefits you're getting. So you're getting £1,800 a month, which is about 3,500 Australian, and a car because you've got 3 kids diagnosed ADHD. Now, word gets around the Sink Estates very quickly.
Yep.
So these young teen mothers go to the doctors, they get their kids prescribed with the Ritalin, but then some of them were smart because some of them didn't give the pills to their kids.
Yeah.
Right? But what they were doing was they were selling the pills, kids, you know, up to the age of about 15, 16, you know, it either turns them into zombies or it makes them suicidal. And in fact, there's a database that I would encourage people to look at. If people go to the website, SSRI Stories. Yep. This is a database of incidents like suicide or self-harming or homicide that have been committed by people under the influence of these pernicious drugs. And the problem is that it completely alters the personality. Yep. And when kids are on Ritalin for extended lengths of time, then when they reach adulthood, then they need something much stronger, so they start taking Prozac and Xanax. And of course, they're on the pharmaceutical payroll then, probably for life. And so, you know, what we're finding is that we've got an agenda here which is literally aimed at making sure that our youth is targeted by the pharmaceutical industry, and it's effectively shutting down their capacity to realise their full potential. You know, a big part of this is the diet that unfortunately parents you know, give their kids. To think that we can give our kids some of the stuff, some of the junk that, you know, we readily put into our own bodies, and then the kids not have some negative effect is ridiculous. I mean, in France, for example, it's now illegal to sell Red Bull to children under the age of 14.
So it should be.
Exactly, because it's a stimulant. Yeah. And you know, so whereas the adult can, you know, deal with that caffeine content, the younger developing brain can't, and they become, you know, hyper. So I think, you know, parents that have got some hyperactivity in their children need to look at what it is that they're putting inside their bodies before rushing off to the doctor and saying, I can't control little Johnny or little Jane or whatever, can you give me some pills? You know, let's try and do the right thing by the kids first before we start the medication process.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more on that one. So how do you like your meat pie?
Outstanding.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
We want to thank you so much again for taking time out and coming here to talk to us today. So it does mean a lot because you're so busy.
How could I refuse?
Yeah, well, that is true. That's true. You got a point there.